You wake up drained. Your body moves, your face smiles, your voice functions, but something in you feels like it's been bleeding quietly for months. And because it doesn't look dramatic, you don't call it what it is. Exhaustion. Not from work, not from workouts, but from living every day with pressure that never lets up. The pressure to keep it together, to stay strong, to be useful, likable, unbothered. You carry yourself like a professional at survival. But inside, something's collapsing. You've been running on fumes and autopilot, pretending it's normal, and healing won't start until you name what's really happening. You're not lazy, you're depleted. You've tried to rest, you've slept longer, you've canceled plans, and somehow you still wake up feeling like you've been running marathons in your sleep. That's because the exhaustion isn't physical, it's emotional. And emotional fatigue doesn't heal by doing less. It heals by living truer. You're tired because you're constantly performing, because you overthink every word, because you keep your pain quiet to protect others' comfort, because your boundaries are suggestions, not decisions. And that kind of living drains your spirit. If you want real rest, stop trying to recover inside a life that keeps wounding you. You answer messages even when you're depleted. You smile when you're unraveling. You offer support when you can barely hold yourself up. And slowly you teach your nervous system that your needs come last, that your body doesn't get to say no, that everyone else's peace is more important than your own. And at first, that looks like kindness. But over time, it becomes self-erasure. You stop recognizing yourself because you've given every piece of you away in small, polite transactions. Healing starts when you stop giving energy out of guilt and start keeping some because you finally believe you're worth protecting. It's not just the world that exhausts you, it's the inner conflict, the voice that tells you to rest, but also calls you lazy, the voice that asks you to slow down, but screams about falling behind. You're living with an internal tension that never resolves, like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake, and that tension wears you down more than any workload ever could. You're not failing. You're just being crushed by the contradiction of wanting peace, but feeling unsafe in it. Healing comes when you stop fighting the silence and start letting it soften you. You keep pushing through because you think stopping means weakness. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that being tired is a flaw, that people who pause get left behind. So you power through pain, you fake energy, you burn your body trying to prove you're still okay. But true rest isn't about disappearing, it's about returning to your breath, to your limits, to the parts of you that have been whispering for help while you played hero. Rest is not failure, it's strategy. It's how you come back to yourself before you become someone you no longer recognize. You're not just tired from doing too much, you're tired from holding too much. Thoughts you never voiced, pain you never released, expectations you never questioned. You carry it all with a quiet strength that looks impressive from the outside, but inside, it's costing you everything. Invisible exhaustion builds in the places where you don't feel safe enough to be real, where your truth gets swallowed because you think it's too much. But every word you don't speak turns into tension, and tension, over time, becomes burnout. You don't need to collapse to deserve space. You just need to start telling the truth. Somewhere along the way, anxiety became your fuel. Deadlines, guilt, the fear of disappointing others. That's what drives you. And yes, it gets things done, but it also strips your nervous system raw. You become hyper-aware, always alert, always preparing for the next demand. And when there's finally quiet, you can't rest. You feel guilty, lost, anxious again. That's not life, that's survival mode in a costume. Healing invisible exhaustion means learning to move without panic. To take action from alignment, not fear. Because a peaceful life can't be built on chaos. And your body knows it, even if your habits haven't caught up yet. You're tired of being fine, of being the reliable one, the chill one, the capable one. You're tired because you've been performing someone else's version of okay for too long, and now your system is rebelling. That's what this exhaustion is, a quiet revolt. Your soul asking for something real. Not more productivity, not more efficiency, but room. Room to cry. Room to laugh without calculation. Room to exist without needing a reason. Healing starts when you stop trying to be impressive. and start being honest. Even if all you can say right now is, "I'm not okay and I need space." You've been so tired for so long that you don't even feel the weight anymore. You just move through the motions, quiet, detached, numb. But that's not rest. That's your body trying to shield you from pain it hasn't had the safety to process. And the danger is, you might mistake that numbness for healing. But healing isn't absence of feeling, it's presence. It's when sensation returns and you finally feel what you've been suppressing. That might hurt at first. But pain is proof that something inside you still wants to live fully. Don't run from it. Walk through it slowly. That's where real rest begins. You're exhausted because you keep pouring yourself into things that don't pour back. Conversations that leave you hollow. Obligations that don't align. Spaces that demand your loyalty but never offer peace. And it's not that your life is too much. It's that your boundaries are too thin. Every yes that should have been a no chips away at your strength. Every time you stay silent when you needed to speak, something in you tightens. You don't need a new life. You need a new filter. If it drains you and doesn't grow you, it's not sacred enough to hold your energy. It won't look pretty. It won't always come with morning routines, perfect journals, or clean schedules. Sometimes healing looks like canceling a call to stare at the ceiling in silence. Sometimes it looks like saying no and sitting with the guilt instead of running from it. It's the moment you leave a room that drains you without needing a dramatic exit. It's when you let your body rest without punishment. Real healing is raw. It's inconvenient. It's lonely at times, but it's yours. And it's how you finally stop sacrificing yourself for an image of stability that was killing you. Your energy isn't infinite. Your peace isn't optional. Your needs aren't too much. But the reason you feel empty isn't because life is too hard. It's because you keep treating sacred things like they're negotiable, like your rest, like your voice, like your space. And the more you compromise, the more you collapse. Healing starts with clarity. You draw the line. You say, "This is where I end and the world begins." Not because you're cold, but because you're tired of bleeding for things that never hold you. That's not cruelty. That's preservation. That's what staying alive looks like. If you wait for life to give you a break, you'll wait forever. The noise won't stop. The demands won't vanish. The expectations won't soften on their own. So you have to interrupt the momentum. You have to choose slowness like it's survival, because it is. You choose silence, even when it makes you anxious. You choose rest, even when it feels undeserved. You don't earn it, you need it. Because if you don't protect your stillness, the world will devour it and call it productivity. Healing from invisible exhaustion means claiming time, space, breath, without apology. The biggest lie you've swallowed is that rest must be earned, that you need to be falling apart before you're allowed to pause. But exhaustion isn't a performance. It's a signal, and you don't need permission to listen to it. Not from your boss, not from your family, not even from your own guilt. You don't need to wait until your body forces you to stop. You can choose rest as a form of rebellion, as a form of healing, as a way of whispering back to yourself, "I matter," even when I'm not producing, even when I'm just breathing. That's where your recovery begins.